Hello everybody, welcome to MetLife Stadium Super Football Conference Media Day. I'm Darren Cooper from NorthJersey.com along with my friend and colleague, Mr. Greg Cortaglia. How you doing today, my friend?
I'm enjoying this. Media Day is always fun. I think they've been having it here at MetLife Stadium for the past few years. Jets, of course, sponsoring it, and they just had the keynote speakers. So former Jets, Tony Richardson and Eric Coleman got to speak, and kids heard them, and all about social media. And I think Eric Coleman actually referenced something that I remember Herm Edwards saying, don't press send, but if you're here with us on Varsity Aces, click on the link, send it around, and enjoy what we have coming up for you.
We have talked to a lot of teams who are here for the morning session. We got some more teams lined up. You're going to want to stay tuned, hear what the guys have to say about the upcoming season. And we're going to start right now with the state champs from last year. Bergen County's first state champs in like 100 years, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Was Greg Matura caught up with Old Tapan.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Super Football Conference Media Day. I'm sports writer Greg Matura for NorthJersey.com and The Record. It is an honor and a pleasure for me to start off the Media Day with my first interview being Old Tapan, who last year became the first North Jersey public school to win an official state title. With me right now, I have Coach Brian Dunn and players Evan Brooks, Dennis Delaney, and over the top of me we have standout Jack Small. So let's get right into it. Brian, first question. I interviewed you right after you won your state title last year at Rutgers. Obviously, it couldn't sink in at the moment, but now as you look back, how does it feel knowing that you won a state title?
Well, I mean, it's a great feeling at the time, and great, knowing that all the work you put in really paid off, and really excited for these guys and the kids who graduated, the guys who played a big role in that, our whole team, and the excitement around it was fantastic. Still people ask me about it and talking about it even today, obviously. So it obviously meant a lot to a lot of people, but we got to move on and do the things that we're supposed to be doing, which is practice and working at football.
What has been different about this offseason? Has Brian cracked the whip even harder, or has everything been exactly the same? What is your perspective on that?
I agree. Coach Dunn's definitely cracked down a little bit on us because, it's important to not get a big head about this type of stuff, because if we go in week one, we're just going to kill this team. It's not going to end very, very well for us because we got to keep grinding, you know what I mean? And then, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I agree with Jack. Coach Dunn's put it into us really well that we really just have to keep going, and we can't think about last year too much because it's a totally different season. And we got a lot of spots that need work, just like any other football team. Lineman, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, everybody needs work. It's not really what position do we have to fill. It's sort of just everybody needs to get better as a team.
Like Dennis said, everybody needs to get better, and just like every football team, we could always improve. But especially with last year's success, all these Instagram and Twitter posts, and everyone's just trying to it's all about me. Like Coach Dunn says, we got to shift the focus back towards we and us as a team, and how can we get better instead of how can I, or how can I better myself instead of how can I better the team.
I mean, honestly, I still haven't gotten over it. On the drive back after you guys won, I was so full of myself because I won my first state championship. I kept thanking Brian for giving me that, and I have a ring at home, but I also have it in a case. So what kind of expectations, always my loaded question, I say the tough ones for the end, what kind of expectations, if any, can you have for this year's team despite all the holes that you have to fill?
Our expectations, I know everybody wants to hear you have goals. We have goals. We want to win. I mean, that's everybody does, and everybody wants to win championships. So it's kind of like a standard goal for every football team. I mean, everybody's in a different place in development of their team. Our expectations are very short term. It's what we want to do today, how we want to address today and get better today, along with having a long-term plan of where we want to be and how we got to get there and the roads we got to follow to get there. So our expectation is just that we stick to the process of what it is that we want to be and create an atmosphere where everybody understands what we have to do to get there.
Okay. Does anybody want to weigh in? You want to give a prediction? Am I going to be at your game again in December, spiking the ball after you guys win again? Or
That's the goal. Hopefully, yeah.
I'll say something. I mean, our expectations are the same. You know, we're always going to try and get to the last game. That's really our goal for us. Nothing's really changed other than we won it last year. Yeah, that's our big goal. In December, we get to play Christmas music out before practice. That's what we try to get to every year. So nothing's really changed.
All right, that about covers it. Again, Old Tappan coming into the season as a reigning public school state champion. We'll be back with more.
All right, back to live action here at MetLife Stadium, Super Football Conference Media Day. Darren Cooper along with Mr. Greg Tartaglia. And Mr. Tartaglia, who we got with us now?
Well, these are the Passaic Tech Bulldogs. They are the Group 5 runners-up.
Oh.
However, they got a lot coming back, and I think we're going to talk to some of the guys who played in that state final last year, the first ever Group 5 state final, so they may have some motivation. Who do you have over there on your side?
Introduce yourself. Say hi to Mom.
Hi, Mom. It's Keaton Rex. Oh.
All right, you more? You got more?
Nah.
Okay.
Hi, it's Mikhail Taylor.
And over here we have number 0.
Jovan Terra.
And number 3.
Trayshawn Dye.
So first we only have one Dye brother here.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Oh man, that guy's taking his driver's test. Everybody be clear. He's driving now, so stay off the roads. You know.
Wow, issuing this live, by the way.
Great.
I asked him before, weren't they born on the same day? You guys are twins, but apparently your driving test went how?
Yeah, I'm punctual. You know, I get stuff done. So I passed first try easy.
Ooh.
Well, that's okay. Not all of us passed the first try.
I did not pass my first. You passed your first time?
Yeah, I just got my license the 25th.
Congratulations to you. Thank you. All right, you driving back and forth to practice then?
Yeah.
What's the summer been like? What's the mode? What's been the theme of summer practice for Passaic Tech?
Just have fun. That's really the theme. Just have fun and bond.
And even though we referenced you guys are the Group 5 runner-up, and that Ford kid can play, right? I mean, it was good. It was good. How big a motivation? Your turn. How big motivation is losing that game carried over?
It was it motivated us a lot to work harder, and finish throughout our plays and stuff, and come together more as a team.
Well, I think the driving thing might be, a little bit
driving?
of a theme here. They're in the driver's seat, for trying to get back to the fight. You've been there before. You've had that experience. So, Trayshawn, what is it going to take to get this group back there? You have the experience, but you also know, hey, each year's a new year, right?
Yeah, I think overall this year is just about being consistent, most importantly, because last year there were plenty type games. I don't think Jersey Sports even came to when we played UC because they knew it was going to be 2 great defensive North Jersey football, so that's what it's about. So I think that this year being consistent as a team is going to get us back there, just finishing, because we couldn't really finish well. We had good drives, but we didn't finish well in the red zone, and that's what we're looking for this year, to finish in the red zone.
And I was at that Passaic Tech Union City game, probably the least amount of paper I used all year. Just the scoring was not there. But, the offense in the postseason relied heavily on the run game. Javon, you're a receiver. What's it going to take to maybe open things up a little bit this year? Are you going to, or is this, kind of hush-hush, let's keep it secret till the season starts?
No, we're looking forward to passing the ball more, keeping the run game open a lot. We got a big running back. We have 2 great running backs, actually 3, with Cashmere Jones, Trayshawn Dye, and Trayvon Dye. So with that backfield, I think we could be a powerhouse with throwing the ball too. So I'm looking forward to it.
And one of my favorite things that happened with Passaic Tech last year was, I remember a guy started at quarterback when the playoffs started and really had to emerge as the leader in the road. Step forward, Mr. QB. Step forward, Mr. QB. How have you gotten better? How did that experience shape you moving forward?
It definitely made me work harder as a quarterback and realizing how to become a better leader throughout off the field and on the field. And I've just been working on the off season and getting better every day, taking step by step and helping my guys out too.
We talk to a lot of teams and kids over, and leadership comes up all the time. How do you? Tell me, how do you do it? How do you do it? It's one thing to say I'm being a better leader. I'm focused on my leadership. What do you do? What is it? The group chats? Is it staying late? Is it coming early? What are you doing to be a better leader?
It's not, to be honest, about the little stuff like we talked about before in our past interviews. It's about checking up on the guys, make sure how they're doing. Asking them if they want to go to the field, get some work in, and then, to be honest, it's all about being confident
I mean, a lot of guys look at your body language. That's one thing I learned throughout life is always have good body language, because when someone sees that your body language is down, it tends to make them be down. So I just try to stay positive and do what I got to do.
All right. You guys are sitting here with two guys who vote in the top 20 North Jersey poll and and the state poll too. So why should Passaic Tech be number one?
I would say Passaic Tech should be number one, because I feel as though we have depth on our team. We've got like a lot of guys that are able to come in and do their job and, kind of just...
And we got the Dye twins, right?
Yeah, and handle pressure and fight. And I feel like that's the main aspect.
Good answer.
There's another side of that coin, though. When you're number one, there's a lot of pressure, a lot of responsibility. You want to be good, but do you want to start the season number one, or
No, you want to end the season number one. I hate to break it to you.
You are, but would you prefer to be more under the radar? What do you think, Javon?
No, I never looked at it as underdogs. I always looked at it as number one anyway. Even when we were sophomores and we played East Orange in a sectional final, I always never looked at it as an underdog. So it feels good to at least have people think that we're number one.
Well, they've got the mentality of that top-ranked team. I'll tell you that.
It does sound good. All right, Mr. Dye, front and center here. Mr. Dye, front and center. Congratulations. Where are you going to college?
Syracuse University.
Congratulations. How was the recruiting process? Was it hard to make the decision? And what was the final push that sent you to Syracuse?
I don't think the decision was hard, because it was a no-brainer. Me and my brother, we had interest in a couple scholarships from different schools, but the one thing about Syracuse was that they wanted both of us at the same time. They wanted both of us to be together. They accepted us for our ability on the field, and they're gonna be there for us, and they're gonna not only develop us as players, but also as young men as well.
Last thing for me, senior year, brother.
Well, I'm a 4-year varsity starter, so I've been through 4 senior groups, and right now, now that I'm the senior, it's kind of I don't know, I'm getting this empty feeling. It's bittersweet, so I just want to leave it all on the field, and I just want to ball out with my brothers at the end of the day. That's what it's about.
Thank you, Mr. Dye.
I did have one more about the recruiting. Was there ever any thought that you and Trayvon might go separate ways, or did you always kind of want to say, yeah, we're going to stay together no matter what?
We knew the whole time we were going to stay together. Our family knows we're going to stay together, and I think that dynamic duo, that's the spark right there. Especially when we're on the field, I'm pretty sure that the state sees it. I know that our team sees it, and they know we got their back and they got our back, and no matter what, they're going to ride for us.
If there's ever a week during football season you need to take off, come home, see the family, when Syracuse plays Boston College, you don't have to be there. It's okay. You can take it easy on the Eagles. Thank you, Trayshawn.
All right, guys, thank you all so much. Might be our number one team. That's Passaic Tech here at Super Football Conference Media Day. Thank you, guys. Good luck this season.
Hello, everyone, and right now we are having the pleasure of interviewing Bergen Catholic, another reigning state football champion here. With me, we have Coach Vito Campanelli. And then, Vito, do you want to introduce your crew here?
Sure. We have Marcus Linder, Chris Memo, Koch Sanders.
All right. And the question to you as well, what has the off-season been like for you since you won a state title? What has been different, if anything?
I think it's been status quo, back to work, and just basically keep developing that same mindset and making sure that we get out there and get better every single day. And we've basically been focusing on ourselves. We really haven't been thinking about last year, and you got to kind of have amnesia when it comes to that, because we certainly want to get right back here to the same spot we were at the end of last season.
Now, again, you had such a dominating state championship finale there. What's the mindset then for the players going into the offseason? Your thoughts on that?
So definitely we just wanted to build off of that win. Obviously we didn't want to be satisfied with it, but we wanted to carry that momentum into the off season, in our lifts, our runs, so we could be ready to repeat and do it again this year.
Okay, Chris, over to you, same question.
Kind of just having being tougher mindset, having fun while doing it, and just working hard every single day, and kind of to reflect what Coach Vito said, just keep working and having fun while doing it.
Kaj, same question. Over to you.
Yeah, definitely what the three of them said. It's the past. It happened. We did it. Time to move on, get another one, and do what we got to do.
All right, now we're done with the easy questions. They get progressively harder. Yes, last year was last year. This year is this year. Vito, what do you do when you've just won a state title against your arch rival? It was a dominating victory. How do you shrink their heads down in the offseason so that they don't get too full of themselves? What have you done to address that?
Yeah, I think we just focus on having that killer mindset, right? And just make sure that we're attacking every single day. And I think that we need to understand that, we have to go out with the hunting mindset, not that people are hunting us. And that's what we work on every single day. We really, for us, it's more about, developing the people than chasing the result. And I think that if we do that every single day, like these guys have had an incredible high school career, and all three of these guys have been the bedrock of what we do in their mindset. And I think that it's really been for us making sure that we're cultivating and developing the next crop of players. And every team's unique, right? What we did last year, we might do some things a little bit different this year, and we're going to basically play to the strength of our team. And we certainly have some great players.
All right, you led me in. You were like my co-host rather than an interview with that one. Kaj, we're going to start with you. What is unique about this year's team compared to last summer? What is an area of strength for your team?
I definitely feel like an area of strength of our team is the level of compete. We compete at a really high level. Like every day at practice is always a whole lot of energy, whole lot of compete. We always love going back and forth with each other, always see who's better. We always make each other better, always. And that's why I really feel it's a big difference from last year, because we always trying to make each other better every day.
Chris, over to you.
I feel like we have a lot of young guys coming up who are hungry to play, hungry to get on the field, and it gives us older guys good competition and a good mindset to be in. And I like how everybody looks up to us because we've been through it. We've been through, the thick and the thin, lose and winning, and we kind of just pay it back to the younger guys and tell them how it goes and focus and work hard.
Building off of what Chris said, like last year, kind of everyone knew like what we had going into the year. Like they knew about the Sadirs, the DJs, they knew what we were going to come with. This year, I feel like we kind of have an advantage because we have a lot of younger guys that a lot of teams don't know about that are very, very good players, and they're going to be ready to play come August 25th.
And then my last question is, we're in the fourth quarter of this interview, and my questions always get harder hitting when we get to the fourth quarter. Vito, we'll start with you. What kind of expectations, if any, obviously expectations always high at BC, but what is a reasonable expectation for this year's team?
Yeah, I don't think we have ever gone into a game where we didn't think we were going to win the game, right? So we plan on winning every game. We definitely think that, we're going to bring the fight to everybody. And I think that this team, in a great way, has like a positive chip on their shoulder. They've been really humble and incredibly easy to coach, right? They want to get better every single day. And we understand that this is hard, right? What they're doing, we're trying to play at the highest level in New Jersey football, and we're certainly trying to win every game that we line up in.
Gentlemen, would you like to take a crack at that question, or do you want to pass?
Obviously, the expectation is to win a state championship is to win every game, and I think if we don't win a state the only way we could be good is if we win a state championship. If we don't, then this season wasn't a success.
Yeah, I say Coach Vito kind of said it the best, just play hard. We go into every game with a winning mindset. We've been working hard the off season right now, and, there's no expectation other than winning the football game, winning every game, going one by one, and getting to the top.
Yeah, definitely what the three of them said. We're going to win every game this season, most likely win the state chip. We're just going to keep working every week, go to the next opponent, never doubt our opponent, and just keep working.
All right, that about does it. Again, this has been defending state champion Bergen Catholic.
Back live here at Super Football Conference Media Day at MetLife Stadium. I'm Darren Cooper along with Greg Tartaglia on NorthJersey.com. Mr. Tartaglia, who do we have here?
We have with us the Ridgewood Maroons. Would you like to introduce yourselves? We'll go one at a time down the line.
Peter McHugh.
I'm Sammy DeMarco.
Brady Kazmarski.
Thank you guys for spending some time with us. First question, what have you gotten out of Media Day? What did you think of this thing? What have you thought of this?
It was pretty good. We had an interview early on and had a couple questions. It was pretty simple. We were a little nervous about it coming into it, but it was fun. And then a little bit of waiting around, but then we got to have a cool panel with a couple of New York Jets players, former, and one of their media specialists, and that was just nice to get some insight on that too.
See, I love how media day is all about like tricking the media, right, Greg? I mean, they teach them not, how to handle people like us. Well,
this is the type of thing where we teach them how we handle them too.
Exactly right.
We got to prepare you. It's funny. We were just talking about Ridgewood Montclair last year. One of us worked for the Montclair Times for a long time. One of us worked for the Ridgewood News for a long time. You will be seeing the Ridgewood News quite a bit this year, so that'll get you ready for the press side of the season. What are the preparations like with a quote-unquote new coach? Coach Watson's been there before, but now it's kind of his show. Well, what have the preparations been like this year?
It's a lot more conditioning, a lot of running, a lot of preparing for the upcoming season. We had a lot of injuries last year, so we're getting ready to, the wear and tear on our bodies, making sure we're all ready for the season.
And Torrey Watson, who's the head coach of the football team, also has been the coach of the wrestling team 15, 16, years, around the time that I started at the Ridgewood News. So, having that experience, are those the types of things he brings in, that different, multi-sport mentality?
Yeah, it's a lot more like conditioning. Like he works the wrestling guys really hard, and I think that's something that he brings into the football team really well.
All right, so the obvious question for every North Jersey football fan of the last 40 years has been, there's some offense Ridgewood's been running for the last 40 years. What's it called, Greg?
I believe the Wing.
The Wing X?
QRS.
The Wing X?
Wing T.
What's the offense look like right now?
It's about the same. It's a little bit of a mix, but we're trying to get some more passing plays in too.
Passing the ball, Ridgewood? Down the field?
I mean, we're trying. We have some good receivers this year too. Zach Kranz and Sam Diamond, and Leo Grace. We got some really good guys out there. So we're excited to maybe get them the ball. We'll see. I mean, usually that's not our thing, but maybe we'll change it up this year.
You guys are lucky. We're not blowing. Ridgewood is blessed to have great athletes always, and to see them run the wing tee for so long, there were years where sometimes you'd be like, "Ooh, I wish that kid would run out wide and throw the." So, but the wing tee worked. You know what I mean? We cannot quarrel with the success, but it's got to be a big transition, though, right?
And that's what we harp on too. Like, we're not the strongest guys out there, and honestly, sometimes we just get smaller every year, and we see that using this offense is the best for us, because even if we're undersized, we could still make a difference and make these games competitive.
Great answer.
So we know the offense is, they're going to add some wrinkles this year. Defensively, though, Ridgewood's been one of the best teams. It's why you're always in contention in Group 5. We just talked to Passaic Tech, who played one of the lowest scoring games. One of the other ones was, I think you guys beat Northern Highlands 7-6 last year, a game we had right here on UW and on Jersey.com. How's the defense shaping up this year?
The defense is good. We have Coach McDermott, who's always done a great job with the defense. And
he does pretty good with, I think, flag football too, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
The flag football team is very good, but our defense, we've been in the weight room all summer and spring and winter, and we're ready for the upcoming season. The D-line's looking great, the secondary is looking good, and we're ready to see what we can do.
Ridgewood really did have a great spring. Remember, we were talking about that at the end. I'm just kind of curious what the workouts were like and the participation was like over the summer. What y'all saw over the summer and what the emphasis was for you guys on the summer.
Over the summer, we had a lot of conditioning in the morning and then a lot of lift.
Again with the conditioning, Greg. I guess these guys are running.
We also focused a lot on lifting and seeing all the guys in there and working hard and really putting in the work. It's been great to see, and we've definitely been preparing a lot better than we have in previous years for the season.
All right, so what's the ceiling for this group, Brady? What do you see as this team's potential?
I mean, a championship, that's the ultimate goal. I mean, obviously, we have a lot of young guys. We have quarterback competition. We have a junior, sophomore, freshman, too, who's playing up. I mean, we got a lot of room to work with. It's just about getting those guys in, getting those reps in, and I have a lot of confidence in this whole team getting that done.
All right, you mentioned the quarterbacks, so you're having a competition this year. I will say that, having known Coach Watson for a while, there have been some quarterbacks who come through Ridgewood who have thrown the ball, even within the framework of the wing tee. Ask him if he knows the name Paul Tornator. I think he's still one of the leading passers. And there was another fellow when I was at the Ridgewood News, his name was Jamal Locke, who Tori might know well, who went on to Yale and all that. But, again, what are you anticipating? We can't ask you, the plays, and we don't want you to give away anything, but, are you anticipating maybe mixing it up and having some fun with the offense this year?
Yeah, I definitely think that Gentile is looking to throw the ball a lot more, and we're not just going to be like a super run-heavy team. He wants to mix it up, and he wants to do it a little bit different.
I mean, a few years ago, they even introduced the hurry up. I had never seen hurry up with the wing team, but it can be done.
It can absolutely be done. You guys have been fantastic. Good luck this season. It was great. You got anything else, Greg?
No, I'm good.
No, I'm good.
Unless you got some Montclair stuff.
No, I don't. But it was great. Thank you, boys, for your time. Good luck this year. Y'all did great. By the way, good media day training. Good media day training.
Yeah, good luck this year.
Thank you.
And we are here with another defending state champion, DePaul High School. And with me, we have Coach Nick Campanile. Nick, would you like to introduce your crew, please?
Sure, absolutely. This here next to me is our captain, Matt Huliev. He's a 3-year starter at middle linebacker. Our starting center, Traquil Monroe, is an excellent player as well. Des Jones, a returning starter at wide receiver. And Paul Vidal, our defensive tackle, senior.
Okay, and we'll start off asking the first question to you, Nick, and that is, what is it like, what has the offseason been like being a defending state champion?
So, great question. I think, we tried to put that to bed as soon as we won it. We enjoyed it, and then, in January we started up a brand new season and tried to stay as focused as we could on the process of becoming a great team again this year. So, while it was great and enjoyable, we need to move on and focus on this season.
Gentlemen, over to you if you want to hand the microphone over. Your thoughts on what the offseason has been like. Have your heads gotten bigger? Has Nick shrunk them down? What has the offseason been like knowing you're a defending state champion?
Yeah, no, I don't think our heads gotten bigger at all. I think we just been working hard, and like he said, we forgot about it, moved on, and try and do the same thing this year.
Yeah, going off of what Coach Camp said, there wasn't really anything to be satisfied about, so we're just going to put our heads down, keep working, and make sure we reach the same goal we did last year.
I'm going to just add on to what he's saying. We're not getting big-headed over here. We're just going to work, keep working to the next championship, prove everybody wrong.
It was a great feeling winning the state championship, but Coach Camp told us right, and then we overcame the championship, and then we just kept on working in the off-season.
And now on to this year's team. What is unique about this year's team? What has been different about this year's team, Nick?
I think what's unique is we're a young team, but we're still somehow very experienced. We have a lot of young guys that have gotten meaningful playing time in this league and throughout our playoff run. So that's kind of different than any team I've ever coached in that respect. But that being said, I think we're very, very talented. I think offensively this might be the most explosive we've been. And defensively, again, we return a lot of guys with a lot of experience. So I'm really, really excited about this group and can't wait to get started.
Gentlemen, what is unique about this year's team? Is there an area of the field that is a strength? Is there an area of the team that needs work?
I think we're strong all around. Like you said, we have a lot of young guys with experience, which is really unique. And that's probably one of the biggest things in this league is experience, and we have a lot of it. So.
We also have a lot of depth around positions that we need depth in. So that's pretty good for us. So we know that we have backup guys that we can count on to step up in the game when we need them to.
Yeah, like you guys said, we're going to dominate on both sides of the ball. And we do have a lot of depth and a lot of young guys.
Even though we are young, we are a family, which is our straightness. We treat each other like family. So no matter if we're young or not, 3-year starter, we're all family, and we pick each other up.
All right, last question. Again, we're in the fourth quarter, so I got to ask hard questions that frustrate everyone. As a defending state champion, what kind of expectations, if any, can you have the following year here?
I try not to put expectations on a season. I try to just, focus on the process. I'm trying to get these guys, and that can be hard as young men, but trying to get them to focus on the process of just getting better every single day. And I think if we do that, the results will take care of themselves. We're trying to be as process-oriented as possible and not focused on the results. And I think if we can do that, it'll work to our benefit.
And any of you want to take a swing at that question? Expectations, predictions?
We just want to be dominant all year, all around, but we take it day by day. So that's it.
Yeah, like Matt said, we just want to be take it step by step. Don't rush anything, and just do what we do what we know best, and make sure we get where we need to get done.
everybody want to go undefeated. Everybody want to win a state championship, but we gonna work hard for it, and we gonna exceed what our goal is.
As Dez and Chuck were saying, we're gonna work hard during the practice. As you know, that practice is way harder than the games. Practice all summer, been practicing. Even though we have practice today, we're gonna still work hard and come back with that chip. But practice comes first out of everything.
All right. Once again, we have been blessed with the presence of another defending state champion, DePaul High School. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thanks, Greg. Really appreciate it.
Back here inside MetLife Stadium, Super Football Conference Media Day 2023. Darren Cooper is off to other parts. There's a lot to do here. And in fact, we'll have a couple of the other Varsity Aces joining us in and out throughout the rest of our Varsity Aces live show here. But right now, we have the Pascack Valley Panthers joining us. Coach Len Cusimano, first of all, welcome. We're going to have your players introduce yourself. So if you can handle those two guys, and I'll take care of these two guys. Introduce yourself. You can say your name, your position, and hi, Mom, if you want.
Joey Von Tobel, offensive line and defensive line.
Okay.
I'm Colin Foley. I play fullback and linebacker.
Jordan Sarah, offensive line and defensive line.
Owen Dede, wide receiver and defensive back.
All right. I'm going to start with Coach because I've already learned your name.
Yes.
What are the expectations coming in for Pascack Valley? Because I'm looking last year, not so great year. The year before that was playoffs. The year before that, not so good. The year before that, you've alternated like winning, losing records. So, where's this year's team going to be? How do you get that kind of back to winning consistency?
Yeah, it's just getting back on track this year. It's most important for us. Last year was a little bit of a transitional period for us. A ton of first-year starters, kind of type guys. A lot of these guys here, which were first-year starters as well for us last year. We're very thankful and appreciative of what our seniors did last year and stepping into those roles. Like I said, 2021 was a great year for us in the semifinal against Cranford. It's just getting back on track, sort of this up and down pattern. It's not the best thing that you want every single year, but there's a progression every single year that we're trying to achieve. So we always set the standards very high for us. We know that the mountain's even higher for us here in New Jersey now. With a true state champion. And every single day has to be a challenge for us in competing in order to win a state title.
And Pascack Valley is a team that has won sectional championships yet. They haven't had the opportunity yet since the state champions officially just started last year. But, I'll ask you, Colin, the preseason. First of all, how's it going? Second of all, when you're coming off a tough season like you had last year, is there talk about, we want to be state champs? Everybody wants to be state champs. But, where is the talk? What level are you at, in terms of excitement for maybe making a postseason run?
Yeah, we've spent a ton of time in the weight rooms, ton of time in the classroom in the off season. The summer, everyone's ready to go for the season. Excited to get on the field.
I gather that's the feeling kind of throughout the team, but talking to Joey here, you mentioned your last name, Von Tobel, and I've heard that name before. I think Carl, and there have been some coaches with the last name Von Tobel. You got a great coach in Mr. Cusimano here. Do you ever get any advice or anything from like your family members who have been football coaches before? They ever kind of give you input on the season?
No, yeah. Definitely football has been a big part of the Von Tobel family. I definitely, from grandfather, father to brother, I get great advice from what should I do, how have a winning mentality. There's a lot of great, I get a lot of great info coming from all those guys.
All right, so it sounds like you got some good leaders on this team. What are some of the challenges going to be? I'll go back to Coach Cusimano for Pascack Valley football this year. What are your biggest hurdles maybe to getting back to winning?
Again, the newer starters that are in place for this year, getting them accustomed to our guys that are returners as well. As much as you try to make things as consistent as possible, there's still a puzzle that has to be fit together and put together. So, we've progressed throughout the summer, and I like what we've seen throughout the summer with these guys, our senior leadership. In addition to our new guys that are stepping in various roles, in particular our skill positions. A ton of new players you'll see at those positions. Got a ton of speed and size. I think that will they'll take advantage of, and that will help us this year. In addition to our offensive line, so we're definitely looking forward to that and seeing who's going to step up in those positions for us.
Well, you speak about stepping up, and this is something I've just kind of noticed today, talking to a bunch of different teams. Super Football Conference Media Day. The seniors, the captains are always the ones who come in. I haven't seen a lot of quarterbacks today because a lot of teams have younger quarterbacks. I'll go over to Owen because you're one of the receivers. Who are you going to be catching passes from? I think you have an underclass quarterback this year.
Yeah, so this year it's going to be sophomore Adam Shaw, but recently in the summer, even before we started practicing, we've been getting in on the field, just getting routes in, throwing, trying to just build that chemistry and just trying to get better for the season.
All right, Jordan, I didn't forget about you. Since you are a two-way lineman, what's the line play going to look like for Pascack Valley this year? I remember the teams that I've covered in the past have always been, kind of hit you in the mouth and just go down the field. Is that the same kind of mentality that you still have?
Oh, of course. We're getting into a little bit of a more pass aggressive team, but we're still never going to forget the run the ball. We're going to be very aggressive. We're going to be very downhill. Going both ways on the offensive and defensive line. You learn a lot of tactics and skills to hit create holes, fill gaps, and just get better.
Well, we've learned a bit about the Pascack Valley Panthers. It's now been the Panthers for a few years, so remember to say that. So thank you to Coach Len Cusimano and all the Panthers for joining us. We'll be back with more from Super Football Conference Media Day. You're watching Varsity Aces Live here on YouTube.
Hello once again here at Super Football Conference Media Day at MetLife Stadium. I'm Darren Cooper from NorthJersey.com. Mr. Matura, who we got with us now?
We have the Mustangs of Clifton High School.
All right, we'll let them introduce themselves. Hit me.
Keanu Jimenez.
Tremaine Lawson. Romello Tables.
Romello, I'm starting with you. Second year as a starter, Romello. What's changed? Is the whole slowed down the game? Has the game slowed down for you?
Yeah, definitely reaching a different level of maturity as a quarterback and handling late game situations. I mean, anybody can play in the first quarter when everything's fresh, haven't got hit yet, but definitely knowing how to handle important situations with ball security and putting the ball in the end zone late in the game. So,
what was your biggest lesson you took away from last year? Where do you think you're better at? In other words, where do you think you're
probably containing my composure late in the game, in the huddle, and encouraging my teammates to reach that different level of performance late in the game when we really need everybody to perform at their best.
I understand. Mr. Tremaine, where are we going to school?
Not too sure yet, but you'll be the first one to know.
Are you gonna? You have some opportunities out there for you?
Yeah.
How long have you been playing football?
Probably like 5 years.
So how excited is to have kind of opportunities to play?
I mean, when I got my first offer, I was excited, of course, but I realized that it doesn't really mean anything if you just don't perform.
I got
you. Just keep that hunger that you had before you had those offers. So yeah.
All right, my friend. What do you see? What does the team look like?
Team, we look pretty good. I've been playing with Melo since I was 8 years old. Been playing Tremaine when he first started. So we're looking real good this year, and I just feel like we have the potential to be a group final championship team.
To all three of you, what kind of expectations do you have for this season? The last couple of years, 5-5 last year, and then all the way to the final game the year before. What is this group like, and what do you need to do to be successful this season? We'll start with Romello.
I believe every team that comes up here is going to say to win a state title. But for us at Clifton, we're going to take it week by week, game by game, and try to master performing when we need to the most, like late in the game, in the fourth quarter, either getting a stop on defense or putting the ball in the end zone. So anything less than state championship is a bad year for Clifton just because it's standard. But definitely take it week by week, prep for each opponent like it's any other guy, and then just attack it and dominate the best we could. So, right. Like Melo said, a standard is a standard. My goal or team goal is for a state championship, but like Melo said, we got to take it week by week because you never know what every week holds, but we will come prepared and ready to play. That's all I got to say.
Our 2021 year, we really set the standard. I was a starter on that team. Me and Tremaine were starters on that team. And the way the 2021 seniors, they carried the team was, they carried the team as a brotherhood. And I think all we have to get through this year is to handle through adversity and just, keep playing. There'll be some games we're going to be down, some games we're going to be up, and at the end of the day, we still got to play until the clock says 0-0-0 on it.
All right, the last thing I got from me, we got a new weight room or something? Did we build something? All right, it made Romello smile, yes. So does that really matter? Does it really help?
Yes, the weight room does help, but I feel like we're still going to grind the same way we did without the weight room. So.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
You got anything else, Mr. Matura?
My last question would be, tell us what part of the team is an area of strength? Obviously, having a junior quarterback who went through the wars last season is a big help, but what part of the team is an area of strength, and what part of the team has to step up for you guys to be successful this season?
Well, our strengths come from our big three-star right here, and also our all-senior receiving core. So the chemistry we built from last season, this offseason.
Wait a minute, Clifton's going to throw the ball? You're going to throw the ball now? Down the field?
Yeah, that's the plan. If any year, this is our year to spread it out a little bit more.
Really?
But if anything, we use it as catch teams off guard late in the game or early in the game, take a shot. So definitely.
No more fourth quarter whole drive takes up the whole 12 minutes.
Well, if we're up early and we just gotta milk out the clock, that's what we're gonna do, because the goal is obviously to win.
Right.
But if we need to take some shots, we be prepared to, especially this season. A couple of other strengths is probably our defensive line. Our defensive line is probably the best it's been in a while. So definitely the maturity of our defensive linemen, which I think our defensive linemen are probably like the most connected on the team, other than me and my receivers. So the communication there and the understanding of the game has developed a lot more since last season. So if anything, our run defense and our pass rush should be much better this season.
All right.
Right, just like Melo was saying, well, obviously I'm on the defensive line, so I'm going to say defensive line. I think that's one of our strengths, and just the toughness as a team, as the whole line group, offense and defense. I think that Clifton has built the standard up for what offensive linemen and defensive linemen should be, as in being tough, and I think that's what our strengths are.
Jermaine, the quarterback any good?
He's not. No, he's good. He's good. But yeah, I think we'll be good in that aspect.
All right, guys, good luck this season. Thanks so much for your time. You already had time. All right, guys, we'll be right back with more on NorthJersey.com.
We are here with the Westwood Cardinals football team, another reigning sectional champion. Gentlemen, welcome. We're also here with new coach Bobby Guy, replacing longtime coach Dennis Hard. Bobby, welcome, and to the Cardinals as well. We'll start off with you, Bobby. What has it been like transitioning from being the offensive coordinator to the head coach?
It's been an experience, to be honest. It is something new to me. It has its day-to-day challenges, but I really think that before Coach Hart left, he set us up with a really great staff. I think we have some great athletes at Westwood, but the day-to-day stuff that does come up is challenging at times, but it's nothing that we can't handle. So I think as far as moving from one position to another, I think it's just have to have a high level of focus and make sure that you're prepared for anything to come up.
Now, terrific season last season, 11-1. Again, won a sectional title. Incredible game that I had the honor of covering in your win over Rutherford. Gentlemen, to you, what has the off season been like off of such a terrific 11-1 season with a sectional title? And we'll start with you.
Yeah, we just got right back into where we left off in the weight room, on the field. We're still running, lifting every day since then, just like nothing changed. It's a new season.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the chemistry is still there from last year. We're all still putting in so much hard work, and we're all, really close. And I think that's what makes it so special from last year, that we could take our success and continue it into this year, into practice, and now into the season.
Yeah, I mean, none of the guys are satisfied from last year. We had a great year last year, no doubt. But our goal is to win the last game. So I'm with these guys around me, and we expect nothing less than to win our last game. So
definitely a different type of vibe this year with Coach Guy being the coach. New weight room, just hit the ground running, and we got unfinished business this year.
Everyone's bought in. Everyone wants to win. Everyone knows we have the championship team to win, and everyone knows the one goal is to win the state chip, and that's all we got in our mind. Okay,
now I guaranteed all these guys here that I would make the first mistake. I don't know if you noticed it or not, but I forgot to ask Bobby to introduce the 5 players. I guaranteed you I was going to make the first mistake, right? So if you want to introduce everyone.
So from left to right, our nose guard, R.J. Usher. He's a senior captain. Tommy Busnich, he plays receiver and linebacker for us. He's a senior captain as well. Actually, I might as well just say this. They're all senior captains. Robbie Carstens is our quarterback. Joe Klein plays wide receiver and cornerback for us. And Aiden Carazana does the same, cornerback and receiver, sorry.
All right, Bobby, thank you for falling on my fumble there and recovering it. What type of changes in your responsibilities now that you have stepped up to the head chair has there been for you this off-season?
Like I said before, Dennis did really help in preparation. Started divvying up some of those duties before he was gone. He really did a great job preparing me for this job. Now, like anything, it is still new. So, like I said before, it has its daily challenges, and we just attack them. So.
Now, you Cardinals jumped ahead. I can see you're thinking of big things this season, so you stole away my last question. So we'll go backwards, and that is, what has to go right on the field? I know that you graduated some key players, some terrific players off of last year's team. What has to go right on the field for your team to make another run in the regular season and in the playoffs?
I think the biggest thing, and these guys, we preach it every day. It's really one practice at a time, one play at a time, one rep at a time. And if you win that one rep, everything will fall into place. It's really, not to be cliche, it's the old mentality of trust the process. So if we go and focus on just one thing at a time and not get too focused on things that don't really matter, I think we'll be okay.
Okay, is there an area of the team that is a particular strength? Is it the line, if you want to let the kids take the swing at the next one?
Yeah, I don't think we really have any weaknesses this year. We got a lot of kids last year who didn't play, who are now stepping up now, who are juniors and sophomores, which is everything like last year, which is why we were so successful.
Yeah, I think one of our biggest strengths this year is that we have so much talent, especially from the younger guys stepping up, that it allows us older players or starters to get a breather when we need it, and then allow these players to come in, make a play, and we're still get the ball rolling.
I definitely go with our skills. This could be biased because I'm the quarterback, but I think that that no matter who's out there, I know that they're going to get the job done. And when I'm watching on the sideline, watching the secondary, I know they're going to do their job, and I know when I'm calling the plays, running backs, receivers, I know they're going to do their jobs on come Friday night.
We got no weaknesses, but one of our strengths is our chemistry leading into this year, coming right back from last year, right where it picked off.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's any weaknesses, but I would say one huge strength is our DB room. We're all dogs there and a lot of depth there, so I think we get it done every day on the field.
Last question to all of you, and that is after an 11-1 season, because I've interviewed a lot of kids here today. We have interviewed a lot of kids here today who were on terrific teams last year. What type of motivation, if any, is there for Westwood to come back and work and be even more successful off of an incredibly, again, successful 11-1 sectional title season?
Well, I think it's really important. You have to learn from your mistakes, but if you focus too much on the past, you can get really stuck in there. Caldwell was a great opponent. It was a hard-fought game. I thought we had a couple shots to win. We just didn't do enough at the end. But if we sit and think and talk about that game for the rest of this season, you're kind of drowning out what we really want to accomplish. And I think that these guys lead our team in such a great manner that it makes my job a little bit easier as a head coach now. And I think that the leadership is really going to take us over the top.
Yeah, I think we all have to have short-term memory and not be satisfied from last year, because that wasn't our goal last year to just win a sectional. It was to be playing at Rutgers in December, which is our goal for this year.
Yeah, I think like what Robbie said before, we're just not satisfied. We had a great season, but we know we could do more, and we trust everyone around us. We know we have the potential to do it, and we're just going to go out and do it.
Yeah, just to add on what the guys are saying, we had that sour taste in our mouth last year, and last year, sophomores, we're all 3-year guys that we played varsity before. But, it's always like, we'll get them next year. We'll get them next year. Yeah, senior year, this is it. There's no next year for us. And, we want to cement our part on, Westwood football forever.
It's all about going 1-0. Forgetting 1-0 every week. Forgetting that week from before. Doesn't matter if we win 35-0 or lose 35-0. On to the next week.
I don't think anyone wants to end their season on a loss, and carrying this loss for about 6 months is just tough, and we know that we're so much better than this, and we want to end our season on a win, so that's what we're going to do.
All right. Well, that about does it. I want to thank the extremely smooth and successful Westwood Cardinals for this interview. You outperformed me here, and I got more work to do after this. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Greg. Thank you.
Welcome back to Super Football Conference Media Day here on NorthJersey.com, and joining us now, Mr. Tartaglia. Who we got in the house with us?
We got the East Side Ghosts.
The pride of Patterson.
Does the announcer still say the mighty, mighty, mighty Ghosts? He does? Okay, that's a long-standing tradition.
Say hi to Mom and introduce yourself.
Hey, Messiah McCullen here, number 8, senior, wide receiver, safety.
Good job.
Hi, Mom. I'm Nigel Jennings, number 1, quarterback, Eastside.
Ed, go ahead.
Hey, Mom. This is Nehemiah, number 11, defensive end at Patterson Eastside.
All right, guys. First thing we were just saying before we started, the black jerseys. Come on, I thought they were. What are Eastside school colors, Mr.
Well,
Tanago?
they're orange and they're navy blue.
They're orange and navy. So who came up with the black jerseys?
This is a new jersey we got about 2 years ago, so it's something clean, you know.
Okay.
Well, look, I mean, we're in the home of the Jets, and they came up with the black jerseys, even though they're really green and white. What do you think, Nehemiah? I mean, you're one of the elder statesmen on this team. Does it matter what jerseys you play in? Your goal, I think, is to go another round of the playoffs this year because you've been advancing to the playoffs, have you not?
Yes, we have. And this year, we just taking it one step at a time, game by game, and we got to look clean while we're doing it too.
What's the summer been like? What's been the focus in the summer?
The summer's been going pretty well. The focus is actually just starting to hold people accountable. To me, it all starts in the weight room. If we show up on time, how we do in the weight room, get to the field, get through conditioning periods, stuff like that. It to me is
Who's responsible for that? Who keeps the guys accountable? Who's in charge of
us, the leaders. I say us 3 right here, and a couple other of our seniors. We just make sure we try to hold each and everybody accountable. Like our DC says, we're only as strong as our weakest link.
Greg, we forget the obvious question.
Which is?
They've got a new stadium to play in, for crying out loud.
Well, that's right. Well,
holy smokes.
But see, here's the thing, though. Hinchliffe Stadium it's near Kennedy, so that's always, quote, their home stadium, or is it your home stadium? Or are you still playing at Barley Field? Where are you playing this year?
Yeah, where are we going to go?
We'll be mixing it up just a
That's
little
what I
bit. So here and there, we'll be home and we'll be away.
Have any of y'all been to Hinchcliffe? Have y'all? All right, what'd you tell us? Break it down.
It's nice. It's different. It's pretty big. So it would be fun to play in there, pack it out for the family.
How you guys have created a nice foundation of success the last couple of years. State championship, though. Hit him, Greg. Hit him.
Is this the year for the state
Yeah,
championship?
come on.
Because you've made the playoffs and broke a long drought. Last year you advanced in the playoffs. Is this the year you can go all the way in the playoffs?
I think, like my teammates said here, we're only as strong as our weakest link. So it's like, do we have the potential? Of course. But it's us all buying in as a team, holding each other accountable and staying healthy, being strong, and winning week by week.
I'm out.
Well, I was going to say,
what do you got? We had uniform, we had stadium, we asked about state
stadium. Everybody should remember it's Hinchliffe Stadium. There's no extra C. That's, if you want to sound smart, it's Hinchliffe Stadium. But actually, I understand. And Nigel, you're going to be playing in a completely new stadium this year because you transferred in. Where'd you come from, and what are you observing about this East Side team that makes you confident that you're going to have a good season?
Well, I came from Bergen Catholic, and
They're pretty good, right?
Yes, they're pretty good. So I was taught execution and discipline, and I'm bringing that to this new family. And as long as we execute and have fun, it's football, it's a game. And stay as a family, that will help us throughout November and December.
Nehemiah, is having a guy come in, or even other guys joining the team with some experience like that, is that something that could put you over the top?
Yes, it very much is. Having that leader and that foundation that we was looking for, it really does help in the long run.
Messiah, last question. What's the best thing about playing for the Ghosts?
I say the best thing about playing for the Ghosts is the part about being a family. You have all your brothers around you. These guys really take you in. They make sure you're comfortable. They make sure you're really they take care of you here, from the head coach all the way down to trainer to the players, everybody. They make you feel great, and it's great to be on this team.
Well, I like what Messiah was saying before about accountability. That's something that I've been right in the East Side State of the program the last couple of years, talking to Coach James Magazine. He's really wanted to stress that, and I think he has. So, good luck this year, guys.
Good luck, guys. Thank you for your time. We'll be right back with more from Super Football Conference Media Day on NorthJersey.com.
We are here right now with the Ironman of Don Bosco. Set for a little 6 or 7 minute chat here. Gentlemen, if you want to start out by introducing yourselves.
I'm Lamont Lester from Jersey City, New Jersey.
My name is Amori Francis.
Hi, I'm Logan Bush.
All right, we're going to start right off then, and that is, how has the off-season gone? What kind of a mindset does the team have off of reaching last year's state final?
The off season went pretty good. I feel like we worked hard. Everyone, we kind of grew more together, like as one, like as a unit, like we need to be.
I feel like during the off season, we all worked hard. We did a lot of things to compete. I feel like our strength and conditioning coach, which is our linebacker coach, Coach Tink, he pushed us all off season. We've been doing like tug of wars and just a bunch of compete drills and definitely getting in that lifting, just so we can get better for the season and be able to compete against everybody.
Yeah, I think this has been one of the best off seasons at Bosco since I've been here. Just the attitude in general, it's been a great attitude. Everyone coming to work, compete. We've been competing a lot as a team and just getting that team, that team attitude to just work and forget about all the media and all that hype and just put your heads down and work, really.
Well, let's roll with that thought then, which is, what is different about this summer versus last summer and perhaps the summer before that you're saying there's kind of a different vibe?
So really, we've all just gotten closer, knowing the program, the seniors. We've been here for 4 years now. We started COVID year, so that was a crazy year. So our senior class is one of the closest classes I've ever seen, and just bringing up the young guys with us and getting them to our level and just competing in general, it's just made a good team mood and gave us a good start line to just have a good season.
The question is, what is the vibe that's been different about this season that he alluded to, this off season compared to the last couple of summers?
I feel like this off season, everybody in my grade is just stepping, everybody stepped up more. I feel like this year, a lot of the seniors have stepped up more than last year. Even though last year we had a lot of great seniors, I feel like this year the seniors are stepping up more and getting more involved with the young guys. And I feel like that's what we need to just keep being better and staying close as a team.
I feel like from last year we have a lot we're a lot more we have a lot more attention to detail now, because last year we were kind of like the dogs, you know what I'm saying? We were the dogs. So this year we kind of have to focus in, dial in more, trust each other, and hope everybody does their one of one. You know what I'm saying?
Now, is there an area of strength on the offense? Is there an area of strength on defense? Is it skill positions or linemen on offense? Is it line, linebacker, secondary? Where do you have the most experience? Where do you have the most skill?
I would say the spot with the most skill is the whole defense and the running backs. The running backs. So we got a returner, Logan Bush. So he's going to put in work for us this year.
Okay.
I feel like the whole team, everybody's been coming to practice and working hard and getting better. But I feel like the team, the group that's been the longest together is probably the D-line. But I feel like I said, all the groups we're all ready to go.
I think some of our strengths offensive-wise is definitely our returning right tackle and left guard, or right tackle and right guard, Amori Francis and Kevin Garcia, and then just our skill positions. We have a bunch of young guys coming up who are pretty technically sound, and they're pretty good, and they're learning the varsity speed and all that. And then our backfield, we have me, Jay Richards, he's coming up, and defensive-wise, I say definitely our D-line and our secondary. We also have a couple young guys coming up, cornerback Marquette Dorsey, and D-line, obviously we have Lamont Lester, he's a dog, and Jordan Thomas, Aiden Horodnik. We just have a bunch of solid players on our defense, especially Kyle Ramos too, and Jay Brown.
Now, Don Bosco is one of those schools where the expectations are always extremely high. It's win a title, whether it's a division title or a state title, or it seems like a bit of a disappointment. What has to go right on the field? What has to go right over the course of the season for you to put yourselves back in position to get to a state championship and to compete for that state championship?
I just feel like as a team, everything has to be cohesive, meaning coaches, players, everyone there can't be arguing and stuff. Everyone has to be on the same level, practice-wise, all giving effort, all never slacking off. And because that's really when those big losses happens, when you think you're higher than you are and you slack off. So it's just keeping that same attitude throughout the season. Like, we're just going to work no matter what, success, failure, we're just going to work through it, persevere, and not focus on what the media has to say and just do what we do.
You're down on the media, huh? Sometimes I am too. Question: what has to go right, on the field? What has to go right off the field for you to put yourselves in position to get back to a state championship and win a state championship?
I feel like we just gotta stay positive, and everybody just has to keep their technique sound. And like I feel like last year, what we had a problem with, we had a lot of dogs, but we would have like times where the defense or the offense, like we would complain or argue with each other. And I feel like when you argue with your teammates, it just messes up everything. So I feel like that's what we got to focus on this year, is just staying positive, and instead of arguing with each other, just coming together and just helping each other out.
If we want to get back to where we were, and if we want to finish, we got to play up to the Bosco standard, because right now we're not at the Bosco standard. The Bosco standard is up here, and we just got to keep raising the bar for like all the young guys and even the older guys. We just got to step it up every day.
All right, well said. And we'll end it on that note. That was a touchdown, that answer. Thank you. We have just interviewed the Ironman of Don Bosco. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Welcome back to Super Football Conference Media Day. I'm Greg Tartaglia for the Varsity Aces, and today we're speaking to a lot of teams, but right now we have the Hackensack Comets. Fellas, welcome with Coach Brett Ressler. Can you introduce your players here for us?
Thanks, Greg. Obviously starting over here, we have linebacker, running back, Joe Farrington, running back, defensive back, Aiden Jones, wide receiver, defensive back, Adrian King.
All right, welcome, fellas. Welcome to Varsity Aces Live. You know what? I think I will start with Aiden because, normally media day, quarterback's the, lead speaker. I don't see a quarterback here. Number one, who's going to play for you this year? Number two, is this a big year for the running game for Hackensack?
So we have he's going into his junior year, Jordan McCoy. He's been looking very promising throughout our OTAs in July, and he's young, but he shows a lot of he's showing me a lot right now, and that was kind of our making sure with the quarterback situation. Also with the line, because I'd say like 85 to 90% of our line last year was all seniors. But this year the guys up front are looking pretty promising. So it kind of makes me happy. I feel a little confident in the running game this year.
Good, and to be clear, most often the seniors are the spokesperson, so if you don't see a quarterback, it's probably an underclassman. So, Coach Ressler, this is third year, fourth year for you?
Third year. Third year. Yeah.
How is it looking? How's the program progressed?
Listen, year three, first 1 and 2, you're still trying to, establish your culture, the way you do things, how you do things, right? But at Hackensack, the one thing is the standard's always the standard. The expectations are always the same. We know that, we hold the legacy of giants on our shoulders when we come on to First and B Street. So year three, we're just trying to keep things rolling, right? We're slowly building in wins into that win column. We did take a little step back last year as far as playoff picture goes, but this year we hopefully will right that ship and find ourselves a home playoff game with an opportunity to keep going in the second season, right?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Although I think you're supposed to say Jets instead of Giants. It's the Jets presenting our SFC
Fair
Media
enough.
Day. You're standing on the shoulders of Comets, because that's what we were just talking about. Hackensack, one of the oldest programs in Bergen County, started in 1902, and one of the winningest programs in all of Bergen County. A lot of people seem to ask about offense first, but what about this defense? Joe, you're a linebacker. What are we going to see out of the Comets defense this year?
We have a lot of returning starters. 9, I think, out of 11 are returning starters. So we have a lot of everyone's coming back, and we have a lot of experience, and I think we're good. I think we're going to have a good year.
All right, well, Adrian, just to make this a little easier, you can use the coach's microphone, but you play both ways on defense, wide receiver, defensive back.
Yes.
How many guys do you have doing the Ironman? And, because Hackensack's a big school.
Yeah.
Usually you got a bigger roster. Do you have a lot of guys playing on both sides of the ball?
Also, this year I would say our depth chart actually got a lot better. So playing both sides of the ball, obviously you want your guys to be able to do both.
but it takes a lot on your body. So you want more depth at positions like receiver and DB. So I'll say this year we have a lot of young guys, but they're stepping up to the plate. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing, working hard, and they look talented, explosive. So I think we'll be good. But like you said about playing both ways, usually it's like me, JoJo, and Aiden. So we're both doing what we got to do, and we're getting it done.
All right, now, Coach Ressler, I know that, media day, a lot of questions get asked, and the coaches kind of rein it in. Everybody wants to take it one game at a time. Everybody wants to keep the expectations. I know you got to focus on game one, but let's say I'm going to make you guys the schedule makers, for once. If you could pick out one opponent off your schedule and say, we're only playing one opponent this year, who do you want to play most?
I don't know. I think we want to play like the Northern Highlands, the Ramapo, because we really haven't played them to the best of our ability the past couple of years, so really want to do that this year.
What do you say, Aiden?
I gotta agree with him. Highlands, Ramapo, Ridgewood. I feel like now, especially that we have more experience, I feel like that's kind of the games that I want to get back from last year.
Well, Ridgewood's probably one of the longer time rivals of the Comets. Teaneck used to be a Thanksgiving game. Is that even still a thing?
Oh yeah. I mean, we played last year. The one thing that's funny about when you play Hackensack football, it doesn't matter when the season really ends, because no matter what, you're playing till the last weekend now, right? We're playing until Thanksgiving. That's what we tell our kids. We're going to start June, that first opening day, right? Of summer recess period, and our last game is always going to be Thanksgiving. So no matter what happens in between those times, you're a football player until then. And that rivalry now, I believe we're 9 in a row or 10 in a row. The win streak is, but Coach Clark over at Teaneck's doing a great job rebuilding that program. Doing his thing, and we look forward to a healthy rivalry with them as well, But like you said, Ridgewood's a long-standing one. This year we're, excited to play that game at Hinchcliffe Stadium, bringing back football over there as part of a showcase through Zone 6. So that's a fun part. We got these nice new uniforms courtesy of Garrett Wilson and the New York Jets.
Very nice,
shout out Eli Hodges and Garrett Wilson and his team for making this happen for us. We're definitely appreciative of everything they've given us these last month or so. But we know that with the generosity comes a lot of expectations, right? We have to earn these things. We can't just accept gifts from people, right? We have to make sure we live up to the hype and live up to the expectations for the people that are supporting us.
So one last question, and you were referencing, always playing at the end of the season. Hackensack football's been around for, I guess that's 121 years now. New Jersey, this is the second year of state playoffs where we play down to the state champions. Mm-hmm. So actually it is possible to play beyond Thanksgiving. Adrian, is it possible for Hackensack to play after Thanksgiving this year, maybe getting one of those state championship games?
Well, yeah, I definitely do feel like it's always a possibility that you can make it, but it starts with the leaders first, holding the team accountable and making sure that our guys work hard, like in the weight room and stuff, like in the weight room, on the field, always making sure we're doing what we're doing. But I do feel like this year we have a good shot. We have a really young team, so obviously getting them to step up to the plate is going to be a task. But I think that if we do that and our guys do start to follow the culture and trust the process, then we'll have a good shot.
Well, we thank you for having a good appearance on Varsity Aces Live. Again, I'm Greg Tartaglia. These are the Hackensack Comets. Look for them this football season. We'll be right back with more coverage from Super Football Conference Media Day.
Welcome back to Super Football Conference Media Day here at MetLife Stadium. Darren Cooper along with Greg Tartaglia. And for these guests from Ramapo High School, we decided to keep the lights turned on.
Oh, see, you had to know that was coming. You had to know.
I had to
go. You wrote their state of the program. It was your lead.
I had to go there, for crying out loud. If you don't know, you should. These guys played in arguably one of the only game that was maybe better than it was the game they played against Highlands the year before. But one of the best games ever played in Bergen County, North Jersey history last year. But we don't want to talk about the past. We don't want to talk about the past. But we do want to introduce who we got, though, here. I had to do that first joke. So say hello to Mom and tell us who you are.
I'm James McGurko. I'm Len DePrima. Zach Snorbush. Jack DeVanzo.
And who are you?
Say hi to Mom. You already introduced me. I'm Greg. Nice to be here. Actually, Greg Tartaglia, because Greg Matura has been in and out here, so we got the Aces have it all covered.
It is a busy time here. Guys, clearly, James, there's got to be motivation, right? This is 2 years in a row, right? So, do you ever watch the film? How does the motivation carry over?
Yeah, well, definitely it was a disappointing loss, but it was a win that we definitely should have had. And, it puts a little chip on our shoulder for this year. And I think that's something that when we think about when we push ourselves in camp and in practice to just be better.
I see Landon looking down at her. He doesn't want to answer this question, but I'm going to ask, does it tick you off still?
It's always kind of going to bother me, obviously, but I'll just say we're worried about the future,
Hold on. Media Day, we get to ask the questions.
So you were asking questions to those two guys, and when they were up on stage a little while ago, or on the dais or whatever, because here in Jets Media Day, I noticed that both of you had quarterback listed next to your name. Now, I've heard before coaches say, a team that has two quarterbacks has no quarterbacks. But in high school, not only does it often pay off, there's often some wrinkles you can add. So actually, I'll just turn to Jack. Who are you blocking for as quarterback, and who are you blocking for as running back? And don't give away any of your secrets, but what are we going to see out of these two guys?
I think this year we'll be seeing Landon at quarterback and James at running back, and it's always great having them behind me, and blocking for them is they make it easy.
Okay. But James, just to be sure, you can throw the ball too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just to keep the opponents honest.
Zach, you got to go to Zach.
I apologize. Zach, what position are you playing? How do you factor in all this? And, what does your unit so far look like in the preseason?
Yeah, I play receiver, so it's great to have one of them throwing me the ball. Can't complain.
Are you both righties? Righty-lefty? Yeah. Okay. So you got two righties in the bullpen.
You got to do the lefty thing, don't you? Right? You got to talk about.
I would if I'm left-handed, which is as you can see where I'm holding my mic. But right-handers are just as good, especially when they're on this team.
All right,
this
Landon. Step forward a little bit, Landon. Step forward a little bit. How complicated is this offense? How well you know it?
I mean, a lot of tweaks and some new things this year, but I'm pretty confident in the playbook and the plays that are going to be running this year. I'm really confident in the players that I'm playing aside. I think we're just not going to skip a beat. I think we'll be ready for this year.
How much have you studied the offense? How many years have you been in it?
I mean, there is some change to our plays and everything, but I know it beyond well. As a quarterback, it's kind of my job to know everyone's job. But I think I'm confident in everything.
What's your favorite play?
Can't answer that
one. Good answer. Good answer. What's your favorite play?
I'm more of a defensive guy, so.
So what's your favorite call on defense?
I can't answer that one either.
Mike, what are you doing to me here?
Well, listen, the tradition at Ramapo has always been do what we do. That was kind of the phrase of Coach Gibbs, and obviously Coach DeFazio has done a great job carrying on the tradition. So the one tradition I've noticed throughout the years at Ramapo is
you're going to do the pineapple? What? Pineapple?
Well, there's a pineapple. That's a whole different story. But you always give great answers, and now we're kind of getting stonewalled with this. Well, I can't say what that is. Okay, we know you can't talk about the playbook and the secrets and all that stuff. But Jack, what can you say about this Ramapo team and why maybe people should keep an eye out for you this year? I mean, they always do, but.
I mean, yeah, we have a lot of new young guys that no one's ever seen before, and these guys we've all been bonding together for this past however many months it's been, but I feel like every guy is ready to step up, and I feel like we're a great group, and I feel like this team can go very far.
Zach, you guys going to get in the end zone this year?
Hell yeah, we are.
Good answer.
Short answer. Short but sweet.
All right. What else we got? All right. Is there a game on the schedule that you got circled? All right, now I know the canned answer is, the first game. Darren, we got to play the first one at a time. But is there one game we're really extra excited for them?
We'll open up to anybody.
Islands.
Thank you. That's
there
okay.
You go.
See, was that so hard?
Well, hold on. It used to be Wayne Hills for a long time.
It used to be Wayne Hills.
But Highlands is definitely kind of the rival du jour. Tell us a little more about that game. Everybody kind of knows in North Jersey football what's happened the past couple of years. How do you think this year is going to play out? How are you approaching the game, I guess?
Yeah, we have a chip on our shoulder, and after how last season ended, we want to come back and finish the job. So
good for Zach.
A
dropping
good answer.
The truth on us.
Dropping the truth, but still keeping it, good answer.
Good. All right, guys. It was fun having y'all on. Thank you for indulging us.
Thank you, Raiders.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a great season. We'll see you.
Thank you.
That will about do it from Super Football Conference Media Day here for the Varsity Aces Live. We've had all Well, 3 aces on the screen so far. I'm joined by Greg Matura for some final thoughts. Darren had to cut out early, but we always enjoy his insight as well. What were your final thoughts from SFC Media Day 2023?
Well, I was thinking about last year and how what a terrific season it was up in North Jersey. We had 5 state finalists. We had 3 state champions, that being Bergen Catholic, Altapan, and DePaul. And a lot of talent graduated from last year. And if North Jersey wants to come anywhere near as doing as well as they did last season, there's a lot of work to be done. A lot of terrific quarterbacks graduated. We do have some talent coming back in that area, but there's a lot of work to be done. We lost a lot of fantastic defensive players, all state quality players. People are going to have to step up and fill our shoes. A lot of people are going to be filling those shoes. We're here today. And we'll see what happens over the course of the season, and we'll see if we have 3 out of the 7 state champions up here in North Jersey and 5 state finalists. Those are my impressions, Greg.
All right, well, we still have plenty of talent here on our team, so we do need to thank the folks who were behind the camera, Paul Wood and Mike Pedagano. The folks besides the camera, our fellow aces, Rob Aitken and Sean Farrell, helped round up some of the teams that you saw today. And it's on YouTube, so if you missed anything, just rewind it. For Darren Cooper, for Greg Matura, I'm Greg Tartaglia. Thank you for joining us on Varsity Aces Live. We'll see you next time.